What's up guys? In this video we're taking a look at a new 3-inch Cinewhoop called the Mage Pro, and this is coming from a company called OddityRC. I had never heard of them until they reached out, but I gotta say, for a company that I've never even heard of, this is a pretty well designed little Cinewhoop. Alright, let's do a quick unboxing. Get our user manual and another little card. The drone. Looks like 2 spare sets of props, and that's in addition to the props that are already on there. So in total you get 3 sets of props. We've got some spare nuts and screws, and it looks like some stickers and a motor direction card. Alright, so here is the Mage Pro. This is a 3-inch 6S capable Cinewhoop that comes in a number of different configurations. Right here I have the DJI O3 version, so I will be using my DJI remote with this as well as my DJI goggles too. You can get this with a TBS receiver, and you can get it with an ELRS in 2.4 GHz or 900 MHz receiver. You really don't see a lot of pre-built drones coming with ELRS 900 MHz, and I wish you did. So I really like that they're making that an option for this drone. VTX wise, like I said, I have the O3 camera, but you can also get this drone with a Caddx Polar or a Runcam Wasp, which will both be compatible with DJI. There's also a Walk Snail Avatar version, and they also have an analog option with a Rush Tank Mini. The Rush Tank Mini is probably my favorite analog VTX. So tons of different configurations that you can get this drone in. So I really like the design of this thing. The plastic feels thick. The plastic prop guides actually kind of remind me of the Avata. They feel thick, like they would hold up in a crash. I'm not planning on putting that to the test because I actually kind of like this drone, but this looks like a pretty well-designed drone. On the back here we have a fixed XT60. This is held in with a TPU piece, and this is also holding an external USB-C port. I only have one other drone with this, and that's the SpeedyBee Cinewhoop, and I wish I more had an external USB because this is actually pretty useful, especially on drones like this where the flight controller is obstructed and you don't have easy access to it. Having an external USB like this is really nice. In front of that we have the battery grip and strap, and it looks like you could fit a pretty good sized battery up here. OddityRC recommends using an 850 to an 1150 milliamp 6S LiPo. I'm going to be doing my testing with a battery like this. This is a Tattoo 1050 6S, and I'll be using this on my flight tests. But they recommend an 850 to an 1150, so 1050 is right in the middle. So when OddityRC first reached out with this drone, I was really looking at the pictures that they sent me, and I couldn't figure out where the hell the antennas for the O3 air unit would be. The antennas are actually hiding underneath here on these sides right here. So this little plastic plate and this little plastic plate are holding the antennas for the O3 air unit. I'm assuming that these 2 antennas are dual band since I can have my radio and goggles bound up to it, but we'll see how the range does in a little bit. Either way, the O3 antennas are hiding underneath here. This is definitely pretty unique to this drone. I haven't seen any other drones that have antennas that are kind of built into the frame like this, so this is a cool design. Since we're underneath the drone, this is a heat sink that's for the O3 air unit. If you look at the overall design of this, you really don't have much airflow inside the drone. You do have this cutout on this side. Hopefully you guys can see this, but this is a cutout for the O3 air unit. You have easy access to the USB-C and the micro SD card slot, but that's really the only cutout in here for airflow. And you have a couple little like slits in the side, but there's not much airflow getting in there. So having a heatsink like this is definitely going to help with heat dissipation and just keeping the O3 air unit nice and cool. Also looking on the bottom, we have a couple little indicator text so you can see where the Type-C port on the O3 air unit is, and then over on this side you have the bind button. This drone comes in a pusher configuration, meaning the motors are upside down. They're going to be pushing down. We have 4-blade HQ props, and then for motors on mine, I have 2004 2500 kV motors, but I know that this is a pre-release version, so these aren't the motors that are going to be sent on it from the factory once they start selling this drone. The motors that they're going to be including on the drone from the factory once they start selling it are Stream 1806 2200 kV motors. I'm really not sure how those are going to differ from these motors, but I'm assuming they're going to perform pretty similar. I like this little plastic piece on the bottom of the motor. This kind of protects the motor windings and just makes a pusher style Cinewhoop like this look pretty clean. Up front, I already mentioned this, but the camera is obviously the O3, and above that they have a full-size GoPro mount. I really like this front camera mounting setup that they designed. The O3 camera is secured to a TPU piece that should help with camera dampening, so when you're stabilizing that footage after the fact in gyro flow, this will hopefully dampen out any shakiness in the footage, and it's all held in place with these aluminum brackets. This is also going to help protect the camera if you crash. The only thing I don't like about this front design is this aluminum piece actually gets in the way of the GoPro mount a little bit. So as you can see, the paint's kind of coming up where the screw goes in, because it is very close to where you put the screw in to secure the GoPro. So mine isn't as pretty anymore, but it's still functional. But that's really my only complaint with this entire front piece. And lastly, you guys can't see this, but the flight controller that comes in this drone is OddityRC's F722 40-amp all-in-one flight controller. Mine came running Betaflight 4.5 right out of the box. So now let's get to some flight footage. I've filmed this a couple times since OddityRC has sent me a couple adjustments to the tune that's on board. With the original tune that was sent on the drone, I actually filmed a project with a GoPro Hero 11 Mini on board. The drone seemed to fly pretty good and I got some awesome footage out of it. That's what you guys are seeing right now. Once OddityRC sent me the latest tune, I took it out again to chase my car and I noticed that it actually flew a little bit better. So I've been dying to get some footage of my Tesla just driving down the road. This drone is perfect for chasing a car going around 30 miles an hour, so my wife and I took out the Tesla, took out this drone, and I chased it through the woods from the passenger seat. So here's some footage from that. This was filmed right on the O3 on board. So the thing handles pretty good with a full-size GoPro, but it definitely flies a little bit better without one. I'd really like to figure out how I could mount a naked GoPro to this thing. I'll probably just get an adapter so I can put that right on board. But it would be nice if there was a TPU piece similar to this that was meant more so for a naked GoPro. I love the design of the drone, and overall it's just a really nice quad. Like I said, OddityRC has been sending me updates here and there. Each one that they've sent has been making the drone fly a little bit better than the last. I wish more drones were coming with an external fixed USB port like this. Same with the hard-mounted XT60. To me, the less cables that I have flopping around, the better. Plus, it just makes it look so much cleaner. Once I'm able to get a naked GoPro Hero 11 on this drone, I'm definitely going to be using this to chase some go-karts. So keep an eye out for that footage. So with that 1050 milliamp LiPo, I was getting about 5 minutes flight time without a GoPro, and then a little bit less with a GoPro. And obviously, without the additional weight of a GoPro, the drone is going to fly a little bit better. Links to this drone will be down in the description. If this video helped you out, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more FPV content. Leave this video a like, and if you have any questions about the Mage 30 Pro from OddityRC, leave a comment down below.